Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I will do some team review for viewers, look what they have, say if it's good enough for the 1KCC, and we're gonna go from there. If there is some replacement I will say it, if it's a good team we keep it as it is. Now if you want to copy teams like the viewers, it's okay, just make sure you're gonna have some good stars on them. We're gonna start with the first person, which is gonna be the real King Cold. I looked at this team in advance actually. I'm gonna make a pause, make his team, and come back in a second. So I made his team. I'm not a big fan of a lot of choices. First of all, we're gonna start with this guy. He's more melee type. I don't think he's that good, and it's not really a must to have him, so I'm gonna remove him. After that, we're gonna have this guy. He's range type, but I much prefer the red Apul, and I think you don't have enough Friezas in your team because you're gonna have this Ultra Frieza that need Frieza Force or Lineage of Evil, sorry, not Frieza Force ally for his Ultra ability. His Ultra ability is super important. So I'm gonna remove this guy. You can keep 3 Z if you want to and you want extra boost. And also you're gonna have this guy who is a little healer, but he's not that good in battle. His damage is not that great. And I would much prefer to add the green Frieza as a healer since he's gonna be LOE and you're gonna need some LOE coverage for the Ultra ability. Then after, I would put like the red Frieza here. We need another damage dealer in your team, you don't have that much. And then at the end, if you want to use yellow under Frieza for extra safety and damage, you can do that. And that's basically how we'll go about it. You can also put your full power Frieza instead of the red Frieza if you want an A tier and Zenkai buff the yellow under Frieza. Or if you don't want to use the yellow under Frieza, if you don't have him, you can use full power. Now, if you want to use an S tier minion, my advice would be Apul. He's pretty good and he's a support unit. He has 30% damage cut, he has 10% damage inflicted and 10% crit rate. Another thing, if you want to use the red guy, I would advise this guy over the raspberry because he has 35% damage cut, he healed himself 3%, he has a blast attack Z ability which is good for your range team. Is gonna survive much better as a Z tier or S tier, sorry. And this guy, what's gonna happen is, of course, he's gonna output more damage. He has some support, but he doesn't heal himself like the other guy. The other guy has more damage cut, and that's gonna make a big difference in my opinion. That's basically it. Make sure to have a couple of Friezas because of the Ultra ability. I would use this 3Z if you wish to, they are fine. They're not the tankiest, but since your team is going to be super strong, I think that will be okay. You have triple green, which is not ideal to have triple of the same color, but if you use the yellow under Frieza or the full power Frieza, you're gonna have double yellow with this guy who's pretty good. And if you face a purple, you can have double yellow and you should be fine. That's basically it about your team. Now let's get to the next person, and it's gonna be here. You have a GT team. This is I'm not a big fan of this GT team for a reason, because it's not either blast based or strike based. I'm gonna zoom in on it, and you need to go either way. So what I'm gonna do is change a couple of characters. Plus you don't have a healer, so let me make a cut and come back. What I would do is keep the 3 characters on screen, which is the Omega, Super 17 and the Sin. All 3 of them have a blast attack ability, they're more blast based, so it's pretty good. Then after that, I would add the Red Sin Shenron, which is the free to play. Super good character, pairs well with Super 17, so I would add him, and he's blast based. He's gonna give you another blast attack ability, so you have already 4 blast attack ability, which is super good. And then I'm gonna add a healer. This is a must if you want to run GT. You always run Super Baby 2. He's the team healer. If you do not have him, I wouldn't run GT. Maybe you can use Bula as a healer if she's super high star, but I would really recommend Super Baby 2 because he's basically the most important character for GT. And to heal allies, it's just putting character in his left and right. So here he's healing Omega and Super 17, and here he's healing the red, the 2 red in the top. And after, you can add here any good character you want. I would advise this season the yellow guy here. Even if he's strike based, it's gonna be okay, because first of all, he's S tier, he's gonna give you a lot of point. And what's gonna happen is he's gonna get double Zenkai buff plus his Z ability, so it's 35% plus another 75% damage, not damage, base strike attack, so that's over 100%, and he will do a lot of damage even if it's a blast team. Another thing is, if you go to a fight and you want to go full blast, you just change into blast. In normal fight where you don't need to change, you keep him strike. If you don't want to use him, you can use this EX Shin Shenron. He is also S tier, super good character. He support allies and all, which is nice. Final thing is, if you have the green baby Trunks at 9 star or more, I like him much better than Omega, but Omega is gonna be very good as well, so it's not a big issue, to be fair. Now let's get to the next person, and it's gonna be Zuyu here, and he has a strike movie team. So you are using a strike movie. I don't see many issues with your strike movie, but strike teams are extremely bad this season. I would really advise to go with a blast team. I made a whole section about blast movie in my teams video, so it's gonna be here, and I talk about what character to use. If you want to use the Tapion free to play as a strike movie character, you can. You can use the Gamma as your healer, and then you're gonna fill the blank. I know if you have Roshi, you can use him. You can use still the same 2 Z tier you have. It's gonna be okay. And 3 last character, they need to be blast based. I recommend Amon plus Super Gogeta if you can. If you cannot, you can use the Cooler and you can use the Red Frieza, and you should be fine. You can use Pan over Roshi if you don't have Roshi high star, or if you prefer Pan, and it should be okay in my opinion. Now let's get to the next person and let's see what they have. It's gonna be a Vegeta clan team. Similar stuff, I think. It's 2 strike based. You need your team to be geared toward blast based, and you are using Kaba on your Vegeta team with a strike team, so it's basically useless to use Kaba in a strike team, and I would advise you to switch your team to blast based. Let me make a pause and come back in a second. Let's build the team. Now this Kaba, why I'm saying don't use him in teams with a strike based unit, and of course it doesn't give the Z ability, so your Trunks are basically screwed. You have a couple in your bench that like the Ape Vegeta that don't give the ability to Trunks, so it's not the best. I would say this guy, he's gonna debuff blast damage received for enemies, so your blast attack are gonna do more damage, and you have a strike team. It's not really too good to do that. I'm gonna keep him though, because we're gonna pivot to a blast team. I would use this guy as an S tier. Pretty good. He's a healer, and he's gonna be your main healer. If you do not have him, you can keep the Kaba, the Bula, sorry. But I much prefer Vegeta in my opinion, since he's gonna give a Senzu ability and he's gonna help the Kaba a little bit. Then if you want to use this EX Vegeta, you can use him. That's gonna be fine. He's gonna be a pretty good character. He's a support type, and he's gonna have a blast attack Z ability, which is gonna be useful. Just the Kaba is not getting the buffs. Then if you want to use another S tier instead of using 2 Z tier, you can, because you already have 2 S tier in your team, and you can add the Vegeta here as your other Z tier. But if you do not want to do that and want to use 2 Z tier, I would add the Ape Vegeta. I wouldn't use the Ape Vegeta plus the Code Vegeta together. You're gonna choose one of them. You want the Code Vegeta or the Ape Vegeta. The Ape Vegeta is gonna give you more points. The Code Vegeta is a little bit safer. And then after, you're gonna try to build your team. I like to use Super Vegeta as a Zenkai buffer for the number 1 Vegeta. And then you're gonna do just 2 good LL, like the Budio, plus you can add the TV if you want to. Since they are attack switch unit, they get Zenkai buff by Super Vegeta. It's gonna be pretty decent. You can also add, for example, let's say the attack force here, and they're gonna have a Senzu ability, so it's gonna help Kaba and all the Vegetas. And basically we are pivoting to a full Vegeta team instead of having some Trunkses that don't get the Z ability or don't help the Kaba. If you want to use the Bula as your healer, you're gonna remove that Super Vegeta and number 1 Vegeta. We're gonna add her here. We're gonna still keep this guy, pretty good Budio. Maybe I will use attack force, since they are green, they're gonna get HP buffed, and they can go blast based. Don't worry too much about it. The blast attack is good, and they have blast attack Z ability, so you can change them to blast like this. And here just add a good blast character like TV, and you should be fine, I think, with your team. You're gonna have 2 S tier, 2 Z tier, and that should do it. Bula, this team, number 1 Vegeta, use the team I showed you earlier with Super Vegeta. Now let's get to the next team, and it's gonna be Prince. Prince, same thing as Zuyu. I wouldn't advise a strike movie team this season. And this Towser is not good. I don't know why you're having him. Again, same as last time. You are not looking at the Z tier recommendation, you are just putting random characters. Friendship your Z tier, remove this Towser, he's pretty much useless, and add any good character that is strike based, like God Goku. If you have no one, you can put free to play Bojack, and you should be fine. But use a Blast team, you have the team's video movie based, and go for Blast team like Zuyu. Now we're gonna have India Best, he's gonna have Frieza Force. Again, these guys need to be 14 star. Never use free to play units at 7 star, especially the EX1, because they are really bad at low star. What I would do is basically replace one of them with Broly, the EX, as your Z tier, and remove all 3 of them. 7 star, they will not work, they will be pretty bad. And you're gonna put basically Broly if he's 9 star. You can add this guy if he's 14 star, and you can add the Red Frieza here and be safer, because 7 star is not gonna cut it, to be fair. So you can go like this and switch your team. It's gonna be low boost, but you should have maxed your unit. For Saiyans, much better team. I would actually use this team and go with Saiyans. Make sure to 9 star this Red Saiyan and friendship them, much better than Frieza Force. And you're gonna have 1 S tier, 3 Z tier, so you're gonna get a lot of points. Friendship your team and go with this. Now we're gonna go to GT. No, Saiyan team is still better. I would go with the Saiyan team, and that should be fine. We're gonna go to Rose, and it's gonna have Unirep team. Pretty good team. I would say the only change I would do is remove the Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and add Kaba. I much prefer him to Kaioken. Now I know Kaioken is gonna Zenkai buff the UI, and he's gonna have a super, but what Kaba is gonna have is he's gonna HP buff your Angel Frieza, so he's gonna be more tanky as a healer. He's gonna HP buff the Vados, so she's gonna be more tanky. He's also gonna HP buff the Kakunsa and the Evoken. You're gonna have 4 green, but that's okay, because you already have the Ultra UI, and the Ultra UI is yellow, he will counter the purples no problem, plus the Evoken can tag switch. So I don't think your green are gonna get exposed too much, and having reverse green plus a yellow that is super strong is gonna be good. And I think, in my opinion, this Kaba is gonna make your UI Goku output more damage than the Zenkai buff, because of this debuff that is really good. So I would use this red Kaba, use the green Kaba, and remove the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Then you're gonna go and put your healer, and your team is gonna be perfect, in my opinion, because you're gonna have an HP buffer for your healer, you're gonna have debuffs, and your team is gonna do a lot of damage, and I'm a fan of it. I don't think this guy is really important. He's strike based too, so it's not a must to have him. Kaba will make your character output more damage, he will make your healer tank a little bit better. He's an S tier, so much better choice in my opinion, and that's how it goes. Ultra UI, red Kaba, and Vados the purple, and she will do much better with the green Kaba around. That's my advice for this team. I'm gonna put him here, and let's move to the next one, which is gonna be good. And he's having a Saiyan team and an Android team. Android team, it's not too bad, I think. It's a Blast team and Saiyan team. This Saiyan team, I like it a lot. I would do that actually. The only thing I would do is maybe add another Blast attack ability for Saiyans instead of that Gogeta, if possible, because you are having only, I think, 60% Blast attack, which is not great when you are using a team that is Blast based. So having an extra Saiyan Blast attack ability is going to be helpful. Let me make a cut and come back in a second. Okay, I made the team. I can't complain too much about the Z tier. For the Nappa, just an advice. He gets to debuff the enemy team blast damage received from turn 2. So your team is gonna do a lot of damage from turn 2 with him in the team. And he's gonna support Vegeta's in range, so make sure to put Vegeta's in range. and use him in much easier fight because he's not the tankiest, and he still will help your team a lot. Now let's see if we can switch out the Gogeta for a blast attack Saiyan the ability. So we're gonna remove the Gogeta, sorry, and we don't need too much boost because we're already SC tier, so it doesn't matter. And we're gonna get Z ability. How do you filter with Z ability? And we're gonna go with Saiyans here, and let's see what we have. We're gonna remove this tier, and we're gonna scroll down. What character can we use that has a blast attack ability and can be useful? These ones are all double defense. This guy, he has a blast attack ability, so if you have him Zenkite, I would use him over the Gogeta. At least you're gonna have 90% blast attack, plus the Zenkai buff for the Vegeta is gonna give him another 40. This guy will Zenkai buff himself, so another 40, and this guy will also Zenkai buff himself, so another 35 or 40, which is pretty nice. Another guy you can use is the Tag Force. Even if they're strike based, they have a blast attack ability. If they're 9-star, it's gonna be a good pickup. Let's see another thing here. That has a blast attack. This guy has a blast attack ability, but he's more strike based. You can use him if you want, but strike based is not ideal. Ultra Vegito, no, he has a double defense ability. Let's move to the next. I think this guy has a blast attack ability. Yes, he does, but he's more strike based. However, he does have a blast attack ability. He's not the tankiest, but he has an auto dodge, and he's a Zenkai, so I think he will be fine. You can use him as a character in your team. This guy does have a blast attack ability, but the problem is he doesn't buff Saiyans. You have this guy who does have a blast attack ability. The problem is he can auto-destruct on you if he gets below 15% HP. You can use him and try him if you want to. I think he's still be fine. He's still gonna be fine, sorry. And he's a decent character. I used him before. I don't think he will auto-explode on you. Pretty decent overall. One last thing, I much prefer Kaba over Broly. Both of them don't give Z abilities, so it doesn't matter too much. And both of them are basically a debuffer that will help your team output more damage. This Broly gonna debuff a lot of damage received here when he attack 10% to all enemies and stack over 2 turns, which is 20%, and then he's gonna debuff again turn 3, and so your team is gonna do a lot of damage with him. But I think he's not that tanky. This Kaba as a Zenkai, if you have him Zenkai, of course. If you do not have him Zenkai, ignore me and use Broly, he will be fine. What he's gonna do is he's gonna Zenkai buff himself, HP buff himself, has 20% damage cut, and heal himself 5% turn 3, so he will never die for you. And he's gonna also debuff as always, and also he's gonna support Vegeta with the 20% damage. Remember, the Budew are Vegeta. If you use the Smajin Vegeta, he's gonna support him. Number 1 Vegeta is gonna support him. You can even like double support with the Snappa, which is gonna give damage to Vegeta, so it's gonna be super OP, and I really like the setup. If you can use the Kaba instead of the Broly, but the Broly is still gonna do a lot of good thing in the battle, and he's not gonna be a big handicap in my opinion. It's just an extra layer, and basically he's also S tier, so you get more points. Now we got to IDN. He got first last season, congrats to him, that was great. He's using a Super Warrior team. Now, do not copy what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And he want to use Blue Tien instead, he want to use Krillin instead of Tien. In my opinion, I would keep Tien. I think he is the fastest with the Yamcha. So he's gonna have a lot of good targeting together. Can target less together. So I would keep Tien in my opinion. Maybe add the Gohan Piccolo if they have a Super Warrior Z ability, I'm not sure. But they're pretty good and they're slow green, so it's gonna be helpful. But it's all up to you. I think he's just flexing his team with the max art boosted. And let's get to A-Dog, and he's gonna have a Unirep team, and he's gonna have a hybrid team. Let me make a pause, look at them, and come back. He wants at least top 200 this season. I looked at both teams. I think the Unirep team has more potential, and it's more coherent overall. It's not relying on one character, and it's gonna be much more tankier. This guy is gonna HP buff your healer. He's gonna HP buff the EX Vado, so she's not gonna be struggling too much. This Topo is pretty nice. I used them before, 30% damage cut. He's gonna give some damage to allies, which is good. Now, I would say if you have yellow Angel Frieza, he's gonna be a better bet than Jiren. But Angel Frieza, yellow Angel Frieza, sorry, not Angel Frieza, is gonna be less tanky. So it just depends on what you want to do. And he doesn't get a lot of Z abilities in here, as you can see, only 4 of them. That's why Jiren is a little bit safer, and I think he will output a little bit more. But you have the option of yellow Angel Frieza if you want to be a little bit more risky, but get the supers in. Another thing is, if you want to risk it a little bit more, you can do it with EX Kale instead of the green Angel Frieza, and the EX Kale is an A tier instead of C tier. She's gonna heal allies, of course. She's gonna heal on the top, and also she's gonna get the HP buff from the Kaba. Now, Kale is not gonna heal everyone, of course, because she's not like yellow and green Angel Frieza, but I think she will be pretty decent. You can use her if you want to risk it, or go with green Angel Frieza. It's just 5% versus 0%. Other than that, pretty good team. I would say if you use Kale, try to outboost her to 30 defenses at least. I have her 70, but 30 defense would be okay. I used similar team with Kale. I will put the video in the description where I used EX Vados, green Kaba, red Kale, and the EX Kale. You can see how they did in battle. Maybe it will help you a little bit more. I will put the video in the description. Go look at the gameplay, and you will see that EX Kale does pretty good in my opinion in battle, with the Kaba as a support and HP buffer. That's my main advice. Hopefully you can get top 200. I would advise also to friendship your characters, and I think it should be fine without too much trouble. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed. Today we didn't look at Twitter because we had only one submission and it was a Z tier team. I already talked with him, and I don't really give advice to Z tier team because it's a little bit tricky, and if people are not experienced, it's not gonna go well. It's better for them to plan using a Z tier team and learn from it than giving advice or getting advice, sorry, from someone else, because it's not gonna work out. Anyway, tomorrow is gonna be the full guide video, so I'll show you how to target. And next week is gonna be my gameplay video with my girls team. If you want to watch that, stay tuned. Have a good one, and goodbye.